Alright, so after looking around the house, I finally found where the clamps were. They're in these boxes. That's why I couldn't find them, because I was thinking they were out in the open. So we're going to check to see if we can get those are the right one. The other thing, I believe this water tube should be facing backwards. The previous owner said they put a new water pump on. I actually ordered a new tube thinking that this was adjustable and I was going to replace this because it was all rusted, but it's not adjustable. So what I thought I would do is try to put one of these. I made this little thing, if I can get it in there, and then get it facing towards the back, because this is supposed to be on the other side over here, and they put it over here. So this is in the wrong spot anyway. So I believe that the two heater core lines are supposed to be run down the exhaust or the valve cover. At least that's what it looks like in the photos. So this is in the wrong spot. Besides that, that nut that's underneath this thing is only finger tight, because when I took this off, that nut almost unscrewed completely. So I need to change that over to this side anyway. So I will probably be pulling this pulley back off so I can cut this tube, and then I can spin that out, and then I can put this in there and hopefully get it pointed in the right direction, and that will get my hoses up in the right place. So that's kind of what I plan on doing. But the first thing we're going to do is get the clamps out and see about getting them onto the hoses and see if that's right, and then we'll worry about this other thing in a little bit. See a couple little things I can get done today. I did get some more of the connectors in, this 2-wire connector. So I'm going to make a wiring harness for the fan, and it's going to come out here, run along the fender, and up here on the firewall somewhere I've got another fuse block with relays that it's going to all plug into. So I'll have to mount that up too, which means I'll have to clean all my tools out of the tray here. But first things first, hose clamps. Alright, so it appears that I ordered two sizes, 1.5 inch and 1.75 inch, and that works on the lower radiator hose. So the one on the bottom of the pump is 1.75, the one on the bottom of the radiator is 1.5, and these I believe are 1.25 because the 1.5 doesn't get tight enough to do anything. So I guess I'm gonna have to order some 125s for the upper, which is fine. So I got the one on the pump snug down, so I know that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and snug the lower radiator one down and call that good, and then I guess I'll pull this nut and pull the idler pulley off so I can see about cutting this tube so I can get it out of there. Okay, so I got that cut off. It's weird because it wasn't even tight. I mean, I could literally just turn it back and forth, so it's probably going to leak anyway. So we'll go ahead and I hope I drop that down low enough that I can get a deep socket onto that. I'll figure out what size it is real quick, and we'll get that spun all the way out of there. Alright, so that's what I ended up using. It was actually just barely in there, but I couldn't turn it with my fingers. There it is, it came out. So now we can clean that all up. You've got some Teflon or something in there. Hopefully that threads. It doesn't look too good on there. We will see if this threads in there, and hopefully I'll just temporarily thread it in there, and then I'll come back in with some sealant tape and do that side. Now on the other side where the thermostat switch and stuff is, I will not be putting any tape or anything on that. We'll just be snugging it down and hoping it doesn't leak. They're NTD or NTP fittings, so once you snug them down, they're not supposed to leak, but you really don't want to put any sealant or anything between the housings because you want it to try to ground. And since everything's aluminum and copper, I may end up having to add a ground wire to it just because, but we'll see how things go. Alright, so that thread's in there pretty good. It is a very tight fit right here, but it did go. So that just leaves these two pieces to put on. I believe if I take the hose off here, I should be able to get that to spin on. So I'm going to hunt down some Teflon tape real quick and seal that up and put it in and then get it all snugged down. But I don't know where my tape is, so it might be a second. Alright, found my tape. So we're going to pull that pipe back out of there. I've been dealing with this guy for a couple of days. He's got an 87 Wrangler that he's got up for sale for $2,500. So made him an offer to trade. First he said he wasn't interested, then he came back and said he was. So I said, okay, well, when can we meet up? Well, you know, be a day or two. I got something else going. So it's been about 3 or 4 days. And I'm not sure if at this point I still want to trade. He posted some more photos of it. It looks like the top is cracked. It doesn't seem to be sitting on the body correctly. One side is like a 1/2 inch off. It's like, and he's got straps holding it on. So I'm not really sure what the hell's going on. But the longer he drags his feet, the more I kind of contemplate that this isn't going to be something I'm interested in. So we'll have to see. Now I'm a little concerned about this pipe. I can see from where I turned it in right there that there's some rubbing on the copper. So I think what I'm going to do is right in here where this metal is, I'm going to go ahead and just hit it with the flapper wheel, take a little bit of it off so that I have a little bit more room to work with and it's not rubbing. We'll just right there where you can see it, so it looks like it's kind of got a rub mark. So we're just going to grind that back a little bit. It shouldn't affect anything. I'm not going to grind too much. It just needs just a tad bit. I just don't want it to rub, causing the threads to crack, because then that would suck having to take that all apart. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll tape this all up and see about getting it in. Alright, so I just put the pulley back in place temporarily to make sure we had clearance, and we've got plenty of clearance. So I'm going to take this back off so I can put the T-fitting on. This way I can get a wrench onto this and a wrench onto this and tighten it down without over tightening the tube. I got it snugged in there pretty good, so hopefully it won't leak. If it does, I'll just have to take everything apart and tighten it back up. But I will have to pull the hose off to put this upper piece on because it will not spin because it's in the way. So we'll do that real quick, and hopefully that will be that. We can run our heater hose lines. Okay, and that's what I want. I want it facing back that way. It's up away from the bracket a little bit. I can go ahead and put this pulley back on. Did I drop a piece? No. I thought there was another piece, but I don't. Unless I dropped it straight down and I didn't see it. Alright, well, let's see about putting things back together here. Alright, so the pulley's back on and tightened down. Spin's clear. Got plenty of room here. This is tightened down. I'm going to go get the thermostat pieces and put those in. And we'll see where we're at. Alright, so on this side of the thermostat housing, there's normally the thermostat sending unit that goes straight to the dash. What we're going to do is put this T in. Well, I guess it's not really, that way it's a T, whatever. So we'll put this in. This is a factory thermostat housing so that the gauge on the dash will work. And this is a hold on, it's written on here somewhere, 185 to 200 switch that will be the ground switch that goes to the electric fan. So It has a new thermostat, and if I remember correctly, it's 195, so 180 to 200, that will be put us right in the middle. Plus I will put an additional switch in the dash that I can override this and turn the fans on anytime I need. So we're going to go ahead and do this without any sealant and any tape, because we want to try to make this ground the best we can. Worst case scenario, what we'll do is we'll put a ground, we'll pull this bolt back out, and we will put a wire with a ground, and we will loop around this to make sure that we have a solid ground, because we've got brass, we've got aluminum, we got steel. We just want to make sure that this ground, so all of these connections work. I've seen people put a ton of tape on here and then their gauges stop working. These are supposedly just tightened down fittings, so they're not supposed to need that stuff. So that's what we're going to go with, and we're going to try to get it so that the ground will be sort of facing up. That's the goal. So we'll take this all apart and then we'll start putting it in. Alright, so I had test fitted everything and it fit great, but now that I have snugged this upper sending unit down, it is just a hair beyond where the other sensor has to sit. So what I need to do is get a 3/8 adapter to raise this up just a little bit so that I can get the thing in there. But I can get my old plug back on here. Get that on there. Maybe. And click. All right, so now that works. Now in order to put this one in, I will just need an adapter, because regretfully it is, I can feel it doesn't want to go in straight, and if you see, it's actually touching. So we'll need to get an adapter to put in there, and this is as tight as I could get it. I didn't want to tighten it any farther, which is fine. We'll be able to run the wire up and around. Actually, I'm probably going to run it back that way anyway, because it's going to run along all this stuff, and I'll hide it in. So it'll be fine. It'll be out and away from the belt, so nothing's going to connect. So we're going to get our adapter. I just need to hit the parts store, and we will call that good. And worst case scenario, if we have a leak, I can always sweat these joints with a little solder, because that's the nice thing about brass. We can sweat those in and they'll stop leaking, so we're not going to worry about that. But yeah, so this side I'm not putting any tape in, so we just tighten these down as tight as they will go without getting crazy and cracking anything. The other side we did use some tape on. That should be good for that side. That's just a heater hose. Worst case scenario, we can always take that out and sweat all these joints except for the bottom one, and we'll just keep the tape on that. All right, well, that's going to be it for today. It's a little hot. We've been up since early this morning. Our nurse came at 7 a.m. today, so it's a little earlier than normal, so I'm a little tired. So that's just gonna let me go order some parts, and then I can finish connecting up that. Then I'll go ahead and clean this up, run the hoses, and that will be one step closer. And then we'll start getting the electric fans wired up to where they're going to go onto the dash and onto the firewall and into the dash area. And yeah, we should be good to go. Weather's supposed to be nice for a couple of days, so no rain, so should be able to get some things done. Maybe I'll hear from this guy and I'll be trading for that Jeep. If not, well, I'll just be working on this one. Thanks for watching.